Hello everyone, I'm Nathan Bata, back with another episode in this tutorial series. In the last episode, Har talked about mobile videography, while in the first episode, I talked about general photography. Today, I'll be teaching you guys how to edit photos that you may have using your smartphone or any tablet that you may have. So yeah, let's get right into it. Today, as I said, I'll be teaching you guys how to edit using the app Lightroom. Lightroom is something you can download online on the App Store or on Google Play. It's compatible for all of your devices, so no need to worry about that. Lightroom is a very good app. I've had very good personal experience with it. If I were to be abroad traveling, I would have no problem to edit my photos. And once you get the hang of it, using Lightroom, you'll have the capacity to edit and create very, very good photos. Alright, so now we're on Lightroom. This is the screen you get once you select an image. For information, this image of mine, I took this in China during our XCE Yunnan trip. Basically, I'll just go over the two main things that you have to specialize in if you want to create a good image. For me, out of these 5 tabs, the most important are the light and the color, because they're the main things that you're going to see in a photo. Basically, in this light section, it talks about everything you need to know if you want to change the lighting of the photo. Exposure, it's the overall brightness. You can mess around with that. Of course, right means if you move it to the right, it becomes brighter, and darker to the left. Contrast, it is the difference in the brightness of the lighter pixels and the darker pixels. So if you increase the contrast, the difference increases, and vice versa if you decrease the contrast. Highlights and shadows, they only edit a specific part of the image. For highlights, it concerns the brighter pixels, while for shadows, it concerns the darker pixels. For whites and blacks, it's similar to highlights and shadows, except it won't focus on the group of bright and dark pixels, but it will only focus on the white pixels and black pixels. So for light, you just have to make sure that the photo is properly edited to make sure that it's properly exposed, because you might have some errors when you took the photo and you want to edit it here in post-processing. Moving on to color, the most important thing about color is getting the white balance correct. It's making sure that what appears white in real life also appears white here. So if there is a difference, you can use this dropper tool. You just have to hover it over what should be white, and then the photo will adjust accordingly. But since my clouds are already white in this photo, I have no need to adjust it. But if you want to adjust it yourself, you can use the temperature and tint. It will give a certain theme of a certain color to your photo. Aside from the white balance, you can also adjust each individual color in the photo if you press on the color wheel. You can go through each color and then edit how you want that color to turn out using the hue, the saturation, and luminance. You can create very interesting photos using these color mix, because you can adjust how the color will appear in the photo, and you can deliver a certain type of mood or a certain type of feeling to your image. Alright, so aside from the light and the color section of Lightroom, I also want to highlight one additional feature that may come as important to you. It is the crop section. So on the rightmost part of your screen, you can see that there is a sort of square icon with 2 arrows. That is to indicate that you are on the crop section. You can cut out some unwanted parts of the photo like that, and then if you even want, you can crop your photo to a certain aspect ratio. So for example, from 3:2, you can cut it to 16:9, and then you can crop it from there. and then you can also rotate or flip your image if you want. Then once you're done editing your photo, once you're happy with your photo and you want to export it, all you have to do is press this icon. It's like another square with an arrow pointing up. You just have to press on that, and then you have the option to share it or to export to your camera roll. Normally I would export it to my camera roll, and then it would render to your photo library. If you want, you can press the export as, so that you can have additional options when you publish your photo. You can change what file type it will be, and then you can have your dimensions edited, and then your image quality, you can also change it. For me, I don't really mess around with that, because how Lightroom exports your image to camera roll, it's already sharp enough, it's already clear, and it's already a good photo in general. So yeah, those are the main features of Lightroom that I want to discuss with you. The rest, it's not really that important, but if you still want to use it, you can go mess around with it for yourself. Alright, so now that I've gone through the different features you need to know in Lightroom, let me go over 3 things that I'm going to tell you to always keep in mind. First, you have to make sure that you never over edit, because it's the one thing that many people do too often that lead to a bad image. Even I do it sometimes, and you always have to keep in mind that over editing will make your image worse than it was before, and it can take away the meaning that you want to deliver. The second tip is to make sure that you have to know what you're going to edit before you edit, because keeping in mind about the things that you need to do before you actually do it can help you with the work process and can help you create a better image. The third thing that I need to tell you is that having the right exposure and having the right white balance is the most important when editing, because those are the things that can make your image bad or not as good as it's supposed to be, even if you have a nice background or nice colors or a nice harmonious mix of elements in your composition. So those are the 3 things that you always have to keep in mind if you want to edit a very good photo and to make a very good photo. And it's a wrap. Overall, that's all I have to say when it comes to editing a photo. You just have to keep those 3 things in mind, with the exposure, knowing what to edit, knowing how to edit, and that's everything. I hope you learned a lot from me today. I hope that you can use what you've learned in your own photography life. I'm Nathan Bata. I'm part of the school's media team. I hope you continue to stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.